Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. All right. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another PE live show. How is everyone doing? Say hello in the comments. Say hi when you're here. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I am super excited about today's topic. We are talking about the biggest sales mistakes that are costing you thousands of dollars. So really excited to get you guys in here. I cannot wait to hear your questions all around sales. Say hello. Let us know, where are you tuning in from? I am here in Maine. Where are you joining us from? Say hello. We have a ton of new faces here, so we're super excited to be here with you. Welcome if you are new. And if you are a repeat attender, hello, we're so happy to have you here and to see you. Say hi, guys, as you join. I'm going to turn my chat on so I can see you guys. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it. Sydney is here with us. Everyone is tuning in. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Who's excited? Show some love. Who's really excited to learn these biggest mistakes, but know what to do to fix them so that you can increase your sales and have them feel better, have them be better? Who's excited for that? I absolutely love sales, guys. Of course, it's my jam, so I'm a little bit biased there, but I absolutely love sales. And hey, go figure, you need to be a really good seller to make a lot of money in your business, right? So what a good topic to be having. All right. Hi, guys. Hey, it's so good to see you guys. Just letting everybody get in. Oh, look, Lon is in Cali. I'm jealous. I'm in Maine. It's cold here. It's snowy. Okay, gorgeous. Good. Super cool. Hey, guys, keep saying hi in the comments. Now, listen, as I go through these topics today, I have specifically, I think it's 6 things. Yeah, 7. I have 7. 7? Yep. 7 things to share with you. 7 big mistakes. I want you guys to grab pen, grab paper, something to write with. You can check the replay back too, but grab something to write with and write these mistakes down. Okay. And then any questions you have, drop them in the comments. Hi, Sheridan. Drop them in the comments because I'm going to answer your questions. Okay. I'm going to go quick. I have 7 things to share with you. These are 7 biggest mistakes that are costing you thousands of dollars. Okay, you're going to want to write these down. All right, so let's talk about it and then drop your questions below. I want this to be interactive, so I am here to answer your questions. Number 1, the number 1 biggest mistake that is costing entrepreneurs thousands of dollars today in your business. Number 1 is a lack of systems for efficiency and consistency. Can somebody write that in the comments? A lack of systems for efficiency and consistency. I know it's a mouthful, right? Hi, Sadie. Ooh, from Mexico. Look at that. I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, guys, but let me share with you. So the 3 core systems, guys, that I focus on with my clients to make sure they have in place to increase your conversions. The 3 systems you really need to be looking at, you need to have a pre-qualification process in place, right? You've got to make sure that the people that you get on the phone with, the people that are booking in your calendar, that are taking your time, where you are trading your time for money, you need to make sure that those people that you are getting into a conversation with are actually qualified to buy. And they are qualified in the sense they understand what you do, what you offer, and the problem they have, and they want it solved. So a pre-qualification process, guys, is and should be designed to only get people on the phone with you who are already invested in what you teach, what you do, and they want to learn from you. They want to get on the phone to buy from you. Do you guys understand the difference? A lot of the people that we talk to that come in our programs who are I need to increase my conversions. I got to get better at selling. I need to make more money. I need to see more conversions. I'm going to tell you guys right now that 9 out of 10 of the people we work with have 0 qualification process in place. And if they do have one, it is a mess. It's not working. So what happens is you get on the phone and you trade your time to get on the phone with people that are not even in a position to invest with you. Anybody here have that problem? Anyone here? Hi, Tina. Hi, Ria. Anybody here have the problem of you book consultation calls, you get people on the phone, but there's very little to no conversion, right? How many of you, just give me a raise of hands, how many of you here are having consultation calls, you're booking calls, you're getting on the phone with people, and those calls are not converted the way that you want them to. That's probably why you're here listening to this right now, right? How many of you are doing that? Sadie said, would it be like using an application? So there's a few things, right? I can't go into it all here because I want to get through all the things. An application, Sadie, would be one thing, but it's not the only thing. But yes, it would be one thing. Okay, yeah, Sadie says, yes, I do have that problem. Okay, so you understand, right, that a pre-qualification process is making sure and ensuring for you that when you get on the phone with somebody and you're trading your time, which, guys, your time is your money. When you're trading your time, you want to only get on the phone with people that are in a position, they are ready, willing, able to invest, and they want to invest with you. There's no reason to get on the phone otherwise, okay? That's number one. The second qualification process I have my clients put into place, or the second system that I have my clients put into place, is the way you host your call. Does anyone here, give me a 1, if anyone here has a really strong process for how you host your call? Meaning like that from the minute you get on the phone with the person and say, hello, super excited to be chatting with you today. What happens next? All the way to the close. How many of you here, give me a 1 in the comments if you have a system that this is how you run your calls. This is how you host your sales calls to get them to convert. Give me a 2 if you do not have a strong hosting system in place. So your calls are kind of sloppy. Your calls are a little messy. They're a little sloppy. They're kind of all over the place. Every call looks different. Give me a 1 if you have a super tight, really, really effective system for how you host your consultations. Give me a 2 if it's a little sloppy, little all over the place, and it kind of looks different for every person you talk to. And maybe some of them are 30 minutes. Some of them are 1 hour. Some of them are 45 minutes. Like they're kind of all over the place. They're messy. They're sloppy. They're unpredictable. Okay, I'm seeing 2s. Okay, yep. Okay. Yeah, so Tina said I host them on Zoom. So that's just the way that you do your call, but it's not how you host it, right? You need a system for how you bring a person through the consultation call, right? You need to have a step-by-step process and system in place for how you host your calls that bring it from a conversation to a close. Does that make sense for everybody? Right? Okay, the third system. Yeah, Sadie said it's not consistent. Yeah, you might have some things in place, but they're not working that great, right? Okay, the third system is that you need to have a strong follow-up process. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. 80% of my company sales are in the follow-up process. Imagine if I didn't follow up, if my team did not follow up, 80% of the company sales would be gone. We wouldn't even have it. What I see in the industry, and this is what I experience with my clients, when my clients come into my programs and we are setting these systems up, what's happening is they're having these conversations with people who are not ready to buy right now for whatever reason in the world. They get on the phone with them. They say, no, not right now. I can't. I'd love to, but, right? They let them go. They let them go, and that's it. There's nothing that happens after that. If they don't say yes, they let them go. They end the call, and then that's it. There's nothing that happens with that lead after the fact. Is there anyone here who has a follow-up process? Does anyone here have a strict follow-up process in place for following up with leads that maybe are not ready to buy from you right now? Give me a 1 in the comments if you do have a good follow-up process. Give me a 2 if you're like, yeah, no, I pretty much don't really follow up. And if I do, it's kind of, there's no system to it. 1 if you have it, 2 if you don't. Because here's the thing, guys. We have people in our community that are not ready to buy today. But we also have people in our community that are going to buy from us next month or the month after, if you hold the space for those people. Okay. So Tina, it looks like Tina has a process in place. I'm seeing 2s, lots of 2s. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I want you guys to understand is most of your sales guys will happen in the follow-up. Why? Why does that happen? Because most of the people that you bring in your audience are cold leads. They're new people, right? You bring in a new lead, they're not typically ready to buy today from you. They're not typically ready to buy right this very minute from you. So when you bring in someone into your space and you're just connecting, they're not going to say typically, right? Like, yes, I'm ready to buy today. Now that can happen once in a while, but you guys can't rely on that, right? You have to follow up. You're going to have a conversation with someone who just met you and they might feel like, I don't know you enough to say yes today. I need a little more time. If you just brush that person to the side and forget about them, and then you run off to try to find more leads, right? You're like fishing for more leads, but you have a bucket of leads over here that if you nurtured them and you followed up with them and you held space for them, that they will buy from you next month. All of you guys here today, eventually 90% of you will buy one of my programs. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for just a second. 90% of you here today, right now, replayer, live, listening to this live right now, eventually 90% of you will buy one of my programs or will reach out to want to talk about working with me. If I, in my team, did not talk to you, did not tag you, didn't DM you, did not get in conversation with you, paid no attention to you, you would not buy. But if we hold that space for you and we continue to connect and we serve you and we support you and we're here for you and we guide you and we continue to stay in touch with you and hold conversation with you, 90% of you will buy one of our programs eventually. Do you guys see what I mean? Do you guys understand? Yep. Yeah, Sadie said, true, Sadie goes, true, I already decided to buy from you in the future. See, so there's people in your audience who are just watching, but they're making the decision mentally and emotionally that they know they want to work with you. So here's a little secret. Sadie, I'm glad you said that, and I can't wait to work with you. But here's the thing. I'm glad she said that because here's the thing. The people that join your community today are going to eventually buy from you, right? If you hold the space. And here's the other secret. How do you close more of your sales? You create connection in relationship and you speak to your audience. Because what's going to happen, right, by doing that, you are helping them make the decision to buy from you before you ever get in a conversation. Now, let me say this. Let me even go further. Sadie and I have never been in a conversation personally together. But yet she's already made up in her mind by connecting with my team, being here watching my stuff. We're speaking to her. We're talking to her. We're connecting with her. Guess what? In her mind, she's already made the decision. And her and I have never had a sales conversation. We've never gotten into a phone call. We've never had to connect and have a personal one-to-one conversation. She's in the DMs with my team. She's in our stuff. She's loving what she's listening to. We're speaking to her. We're supporting her. We're trying to provide value to her. Do you guys see what's happening? It's happening right in front of you right now, right? You can have your audience making the decision to already buy from you before you ever talk to them if you hold the right systems and if you show up properly in an efficient way that creates the buy-in. Does that make sense for everybody? Is that making sense? Drop some hearts, drop something in the comment. Let me know if that makes sense. We're going to move on to the second thing. So the first, number one, you guys, the first biggest mistake is a lack of systems for efficiency and consistency. You can't just do these things when you want a sale, right? You have to be doing these things. These need to be systems, which means they are 24/7 operating for you. They are constantly running and operating, right? They're going for you behind the scenes. They're running all the time, right? Does that make sense? A system is something that is running like a well-oiled machine 24/7, not once in a while. So you have to put a system in place. You have to test it. You got to fine tune it and tweak it, get it working good, get all the kinks worked out. And then when you have it working as best you can, you don't ever stop doing it. You understand? That makes sense? Perfect. Yes, Sadie. Awesome. Okay, let's go on to number two. I hope you're writing these down. You might have to go back to the replay, and that's fine. Number two, the biggest mistake that's costing you guys thousands of dollars in sales is that you don't guide your prospects through their psychological objections. Write that down. Guide your prospects through their psychological objections. It's not even an option to not do this. You can't actually not do this. So here's the thing. Most of the time, about probably 80 to 90% of the objections that you guys are hearing, that we hear, They're usually fear-based. They're usually fear-based. They're not actually true. And here, let me explain. A lot of times you might hear someone say, I don't have the money. I would love to, but I don't have the money. Or this sounds amazing. This is exactly what I need, but I don't have the money. So let's use that money, objection. Here's the thing. 90% of the time, they do have the money. Or 90% of the time, they know how they could get the money, right? 90% of the time, when they say, I don't have the money, it's actually not true. They might not have all of it in the bank or none of it in the physical bank, but they do know ways that they could probably get it. However, because you have not got them over their psychological objections, they're not emotionally in a place to say yes to you. Okay? Because you didn't get them over their objections. I'm going to tell you this, no matter how successful you are, no matter what stage of business you're in, no matter how great you are at what you do, we all have psychological objections. When we are faced with a buy-in decision where we're going to give our money and we're going to invest, when we have those, typically what comes up for us is fear. Like, okay, what if I make this investment and I don't get the ROI? That doesn't mean they don't have the money. That's not even about money. That is that they're scared they're not going to get a result. That's not about money, right? Or they might say, well, I've made investments before and they didn't work out. That's not about the money. That is that they're afraid they're going to have another thing they're going to do and commit to that doesn't work. They're scared of not getting the result. They're afraid they're going to keep suffering in whatever their pain is. And that problem's not going to get solved. When people tell you they don't have money, a lot of times you will see those same exact people advertise on Facebook that they just went out on a shopping spree, or they just bought a new car, or they just invested in this big program that was more expensive than your program, or that they just went and got their hair and their nails done, or they bought a dog, or they bought a car or a house, or, they went out on this girls' night or date night and they went to this fancy restaurant, or they went on a shopping spree. And you're thinking, what the heck, right? Like, I literally was just on a call with them and they told me they didn't have any money. And you're thinking, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Here's the thing. It wasn't that they don't have the money. Here's what I want you to hear. Write this down. You will find the money for something you want. We will all find the money if it is something that we want, right? If it is something we want, we'll figure it out. I have been on welfare and food stamps with $0, literally no money in my life. And I found money for things I wanted. Whether it was a coffee, a $5 coffee at Dunkin', or it was a night out with the girls that cost $50, or it was a few outfits or something for $100, it didn't matter. If I wanted it, I found the way to do it. I found the money. Whether I borrowed it, I took out a credit card, I sold something, I stopped buying something, it didn't matter. I found it. If you want something, you will find a way to do it. So when someone is giving you an objection, especially a money objection, 90% of the time, it's fear, and you didn't get them over that fear. Now, I don't want you guys to mistake this for, you need to get them invested. You need to get them ready. You need to beg them and go. Absolutely not. That's not your job. But your job is to guide them through the fear that they have. If you get someone on the phone with you, if they've come that far, they're interested. They genuinely want to solve their problem, or they wouldn't go through the hoops to get on the phone with you. They wouldn't waste their time. It's a disservice for you, for me. It's a disservice if we get them on the phone and then we just say, oh, okay, you don't have the money. Well, have a good day. We'll talk later. That is a disservice. Their life has not changed at all from that call with you. What you want is for people, even if you walk and guide them through their psychological objection and they still don't buy from you, you've changed their life. You've changed their perspective. You have helped them have a shift, a realization, a breakthrough. And when they go off in their life, they're different from when they came to that call with you. You want them to leave different than they came. That's your job, right? That's your job. That's my job. That's your job. So if you're going to get them on the phone and say the same thing to them that every coach before you just said to them, which is, oh, okay, no problem. I understand. Have a great day. You did not help that person at all. Because in that mind, they're thinking, but I do want it. I do want to change my situation. I do want to have a different experience. I do want help. I do need help. I am actively looking for help. Or they wouldn't be in a conversation with you. So it's a disservice to just brush it off and buy into their stories. Their stories are 90% fear-based. Okay? They're fear-based. And even if they don't have the physical money in their bank, if they really want to solve their problem and they believe that you can help them, they will find a way to do it. But they're not going to do that if you don't encourage and empower and inspire them to work through the fears that are coming up for them. Does that make sense? You have to get the emotional buy-in, you guys. If you don't get them emotional about things and they don't emotionally say, oh my God, I want this so bad. Oh my God, I got to do this. Oh my God, yes, I need that outcome. I need that experience. If you don't get their emotional buy-in, you're not getting them over the finish line. They're not buying from you. They're not pulling out their card. They're not going to pay you. You're going to get an objection, and they're going to give you any objection that feels easy for them to get out of that situation. It literally almost never has to do with the actual money. They will invest at some point, right? They will. Whether it's with you or not, who knows? But I'm telling you, they're going to go off and find support. They're going to go invest, okay? So you have to understand that you have to get your person emotionally invested in themselves, in their goal, in their dreams, in their desire. You've got to bring that out in them and get them thinking about that and have them feeling that and wanting that. If you don't get their emotional buy-in, they're not buying. It's like going to the store and looking at a pair of shoes and you're like, they're okay. You're not going to buy them because you're not emotionally attached. You're like, it's okay. But if you go look at a pair of shoes and you're like, oh my God, I've been wanting those. Those are gorgeous. Those are exactly what I've been looking for. I've been looking everywhere for these. These are going to be amazing for my runs, right? Like, oh my God, I love these shoes. Oh my God, I put them on. They feel great. They're so comfortable. They look amazing. I have to have these. Boom. Whether you have the money or not, you're buying those shoes. You will not leave that store without those shoes. How many of you have had that experience in any situation where you have just been like, I really can't do this, but I'm totally doing this? Just give me some hearts, give me some likes, or drop an emoji or something. Let me know. Have you ever had that experience where you're like, I can't really afford it, or I shouldn't do this, but like, I'm not leaving without this thing, right? Have any of you done that before? I've done it millions of times. You will find the money for the things that you want. You'll find a way to do it if you want it. If you don't want it, you're going to be like, can't really afford it right now. I don't need those. Nah, I'm good without it. Maybe next time, maybe next month they'll have a shoe sale. I'm good, right? You'll find an excuse, even if the money is sitting in your wallet, because you don't really want it. You're not emotionally invested. Does that make sense? So you guys have to get them there. So that is number 2. Okay, that's number 2. The biggest mistake, you guys, is that you're not getting them through, you're not guiding them through that psychological objection and getting their emotional buy-in, which means you're not getting their money. They are not going to make that investment. They're going to give you an objection. Yeah, Sadie said, I've done that. You will find the money. Yeah, you find it. You have it. We all have the means to money. Whether it's a credit card, whether it's borrowing it, whether it's selling something, whether it's stopping things that you're spending money on that are not probably supporting you. You can find, get, borrow, earn the money. I always say that you find, get, borrow, earn the money one way or another, right? I have people that get part-time jobs to fund their dreams. If somebody wants it, they'll figure it out, period. So if you're buying into people like, oh, nobody has money right now. No, that's not true. We've had our biggest sales during COVID. So have my clients. Some of my clients have had almost $500,000 year in the middle of COVID. I'm telling you right now, there's just as many people investing as not invested. There's just as much good as bad going on right now. There are just as many people that are investing in themselves that are not. It's an equal playing field, guys. There's not, like, if you're telling yourself the story that nobody has money, it's not true. Look around you. Look around you. There's plenty of people that have money, and there's plenty of people invested. In fact, there's billions of people that are investing right now. So no, there's no shyness. There's no shyness or shortage of money or clients right now. There are just as many people making investments today as not making investments today. The problem is you have to change your mindset around the money. You have to stop making stories that are not true, right? Okay. So when you're in sales conversations and someone's telling you they don't have the money and you're buying into the story, what you're basically saying is there's no money in the world. There's no means to get it. There's no resources. There's no tools. If it's not here, it can't be possible. That's not true. That's not true at all. You can go find, get, borrow, earn the money, right? There's always a means to get what you need for something that you want. Bottom line. Okay? All right, number 3. Then the third biggest mistake, guys, is that you do not collect payment over the phone. I mean, this is crazy to me. I see this all the time. Like, oh my God, I was on the phone. I had a great conversation and she's going to buy next week. Or she's buying later today. Or she's buying, yeah, she said she was going to buy. And I say, when is she buying? What do you mean she's going to buy? What do you mean she's going to invest? Like, what happened? Oh, well, we were in a call and it got busy and she had to go. Or she said she was going to do it next week. Or yeah, she's ready to go. She's excited. She can't wait. Okay, when is this happening? Why didn't this already happen? I see a lot of the times that you guys actually do not collect the money over the phone. I don't care how you do it. Please don't ask me, how do you do it? There's a million ways to do it, right? You can literally enter their information on your merchant account. You can send them the link and wait there with them. There's all kinds of ways to do it. The thing is, you're not doing it. You're literally getting them emotionally bought in, and they're like, yes, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I'm excited. I'm in. Let's do it. And then you let them go. And you say, sure, make the payment later when you're ready. Do it later, next week, anytime, sure. Let me know. I'll wait. And you're like sitting around like, when is this happening? Should I follow up? And in the meantime, life is happening to them. They're busy. They've lost that high. That emotion in that high is now dissipated and they're off to their busy life again. And they forgot all about you. And then you say, oh my God, they haven't paid yet. I don't know. Should I follow up with them? What should I say? I don't even know. And then you follow up and you never hear from them again. Or you hear from them and they're like, yeah, I changed my mind. You know what? I'm really busy right now. You had them bought in emotionally. In that moment, they were, yes, let's do this. And then you let them go. Biggest mistake. You just lost that client. You just lost that client. 9 out of 10 times that client is not going to buy. Why does that happen? So here's the thing. There is no I'll buy later. You're in or you're out. It's very black and white. If you're ready to go, let's do it. Secure your spot. We got to get going. If you're not ready right now, come back at a later date. But there's no in between of like, I'm in, but like, I'm not going to pay right now. You're in or you're out. If you're in, secure your spot. Lock it in. Make the decision. Let's do it. If you're not in, then come back when you're ready. There is no like, yeah, I'm in, but I haven't paid. If they haven't paid you, they are not in. It is not a win if they haven't paid you. It doesn't even count. So what I want you guys doing is collecting payment over the phone. If you have someone emotionally bought in and they're ready to go, they need to make the payment right then and there. And this goes back to the way you host your calls. You shouldn't be on the phone with someone who's not ready to buy. It doesn't make sense. Why are you in? What is the point of the call? If they're not ready, willing, and able to make the investment, why are you on the phone? I don't understand. What are we doing on the phone? Just talking, hanging out, chilling, chit chat? Like, what are we doing on the phone if you're not ready to buy? Why are we on the phone? I won't get on the phone with anyone, period. It's not going to happen. My time is my money, right? And that's what, as a business owner, you have to know that. You have to understand that every single minute, every second that you waste is thousands of dollars that you could have just got, that you lost because you're not focusing on money-making activities. You're sitting on the phone with people that are tire kickers, brain kickers. They're looking for free stuff. They just want to pick your brain and get free information. They don't want to invest. They're not ready to bet on themselves. They're not ready to go all in. They just want free stuff all day, just free stuff all day, right? And you are literally spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2, 3 hours, some of you are saying, in a conversation with a person that has zero intention of buy-in from you? Why would you do that when there's billions of people with their card in their hand right now looking to make an investment to solve their problem? You got to move on, guys. You have to understand that this is a big sales mistake, okay? So you got to be in control of your calls. And when the other person is telling you how it's going to go, you're not in control of your calls, right? When I go out in groups and network and I message and I comment and I engage with people, no one's pitching me. People ask me all the time, how come no one pitches you? I'm not available for it. No one pitches me because I'm in control of my conversations. No one is pitching me because I'm in control. If I get on a sales call with someone, I close that call because I wouldn't be on the phone otherwise. I'm in control of that call. They're not running the show. I am. Right? You have to host your calls and be in control of them, or the person you're talking to is going to run the show. They'll tell you, they'll ask you the questions. They'll do all the talking. They're going to tell you when they're make the investment. They're going to tell you how it's going to go. And you're going to sit there like, what the heck just happened? I don't even know what's going on. Right? I just spent 3 hours on this call. They didn't even buy. And the conversation is like a ping pong. It's all over the place from one thing to another. How many of you have sat on the phone and you've heard someone's whole life history? That's because they're in control of the call and you're not. And guess what? You probably didn't get the sale either, did you? In those types of conversations. It's not how you host a sales consultation, right? Yes, this is the biggest mistake, guys. These are the things that are costing you your sales. You need to be in control of your call. Here's how it's going to go. This is what we're doing. This is who it's for. And here's what's going to happen on this call. And then you have a good qualification process so that only the right people get on the call. And when they get on the call, their card is in their hand. They're loving your stuff. They're already bought in. They're ready to get going. They have a couple questions. They can't wait to start. And when that call ends, you've collected payment. They are a new client. That is a sales conversation, right? Okay. So that is number 3. Number 4, I have a couple more to share with you and then I'll take any questions. Number 4, the fourth biggest mistake is that you think the people that need you the most are the people that are struggling the most. Give me a 1 in the comments if you totally believe that. If that is like, oh my God, I feel that. The people struggling the most are the people that need you the most. Who here believes that? Tell me, give me a 1 in the comment if you believe that. Sadie said this is real talk. Oh, yes. So give me a 1. Do you believe that? Because here's what I'm going to tell you. It could not be further from the truth. It is actually not true. Here's what I'm going to say, and some of you are going to have a hard time swallowing this, right? Some of you are going to struggle with this a little bit, and you might even think, no, that's not true. I'm going to tell you that struggle is a choice. Struggle is a choice. I don't care how you slice it. Struggle is a choice, just like success is a choice, right? I struggled in poverty and welfare and government housing and food stamps for 5 years because I chose to. Other people around me were getting off state. They were getting off welfare. They were buying homes. They were buying food. They were they were independent. They were making money. They changed their lives. I didn't because I chose not to. Because I chose to sit in my circumstances and I chose to be a victim to my stories and my circumstances. I chose to believe this is my life. This is what's available. It is hard to do anything else. And blah, 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 blah. I told myself the stories for 5 years and I sat on welfare, on food stamps, struggling for 5 years while other people got off welfare around me and made a great life for themselves. Right? Because I chose to do that. Struggle is a choice. Like it, don't like it, it just is what it is. And at the end of the day, the people who are struggling the most are not mentally or emotionally or physically ready to check themselves in. They're not ready to bet on themselves. They are not ready to take that risk just yet. And they're not ready to do the work. Anybody who comes to you and says, I want this result, but I want this thing, but anybody who says that is not emotionally, mentally, or physically ready to change their situation. There's no way around that. It is what it is. If you are a person who has something that you want to accomplish, achieve, or it's something that you want, it's something that you desire, you see the solution, you know the way, you're ready to do it, then there's no but. Now, there could be, I'm ready and I'm freaking out and I'm so scared and I have questions and oh my God, I'm like freaking out. Totally. Of course. Right? Those are psychological objections. Of course, there's going to be fear. Right? But if you say, I want this, but you're basically saying, I want it, but I can't have it. It's not available for me. And that's not true. Until you change that up here, your situation cannot change, which means if you're talking to people like that, they're not ready to change their situation and you can't do it for them. So what is the solution? You cannot change someone's situation for them. You can't do the work for them. You can't go to their house and get them out of bed and physically do the work for them. They have to do it. And they're not going to do it if they are not emotionally, physically, and mentally ready to do it. Does that make sense? So the people who are struggling the most, they're struggling because they're not ready yet. They are bought in to their psychological fears and objections, and they are victims to their circumstances. They will get ready in their own time, but they're not ready yet if that's what they're saying to you. This is why some of you have to work so hard at getting sales, because 90% of the people you're talking to are people who they're not committed to the thing yet. And you're trying to get them there. You're trying to beg them and negotiate and convince them. You're trying to convince them to do it. It's not going to happen until they're ready to do it. And you'll know when they're ready because they're going to tell you, I'm ready. And there's not going to be buts that follow it. There's not going to be, I'm ready, but. That's not how people create success. That's not how people change their lives. You can't be but. You are or you're not. And some people are not yet. So you have to understand this is where your qualification process comes in place, because you need to be qualifying people and only getting on the phone call with someone who's already ready. If they're not ready and they are struggling, they're struggling because they're bought into their situation and they haven't got themselves out of it yet to the point where they're ready to change their situation and do the work, right? They will get ready when they're ready, but they're not ready right now. So the people struggling the most are struggling because that's what they're choosing right now. They're not ready to change that situation. They don't believe it's possible for them, and they have a bucket of excuses as to why everyone around them can do it, but they cannot. My situation is unique. My situation is different. It's different for me because, and they have a bucket of excuses and reasons of why everyone around them can do it, but they cannot. How do you think that you are going to change their mind on that? You're not. They need to. So until they tell themselves a different story and they recommit to what it is they say they want, their situation isn't changing. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay? And I say this coming from welfare, poverty, complete abuse, like literally begging people who don't have money to buy diapers for my son, literally going days without eating, right? I don't come from money, I can tell you that. So I'm telling you that your situation cannot change until you're ready to change it, right? There's nobody that can do that for you. And when you're inserting buts into, I want this but, and you have this bucket of things that you fill up with all the reasons that everybody around you can do it, but you can't, you're just not ready. So if you are someone getting on the phone with someone like that, you're not converting them. They're not ready yet. So nothing you say, nothing you do, you can drop your price 500 times. It doesn't matter. They're not ready, right? And I see a lot of people like, I even dropped the price. I lowered the price and people are still saying no. It has nothing to do with your price. They're saying no because they're not bought in yet. Rather, it's that they're not bought into their own goal and dreams, or they're not bought into you. Either way, it could be both. It could be one or the other. They're not emotionally bought into it yet, right? The people that need you the most, you guys, are the people who are all in. There's no but. They're already doing stuff. They're already trying to lose weight. They're already reading the books. They're already listening to the podcast. They've made some investments. They're working in their business or their life every day, making attempts. They've checked in. They've checked themselves in. I'm ready to change my circumstances. I am ready to do the work. I'm ready to change this. I'm here. I'm ready, willing, and able to do whatever I have to do to make it happen. Those are your people. Those are your buyers. Those are the people who will buy. Not the ones that are like, oh, I would love to, but I'm 5 years in this struggle. Like, it's rough right now. It ain't changing. I can't do this and I can't do that. And this is not available for me. And my situation is different than everybody else's in the world. Like all of that stuff. Do you see the difference? Your people that need you the most are the ones who are trying so hard and they can't get there, but they are doing it. They are committed. They are bought in. They're ready, willing, and able in all the ways to do whatever is required to get there. Those are the people that need you, because those are the people that are already trying. They understand that they got to do the work. Nobody can do it for them, right? They understand that for their situation to change, they have to do the work. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, perfect. Good. Okay, number 5. You coach on your calls. You're coaching. You're coaching people on consultation calls. It's called a consultation. You're not coaching, you're consulting, you're talking. You are not coaching people. I see this a lot, right? Your job is not to be coaching. Unless they're paying you, you're not coaching them. So on consultation calls, your job is not to have all the answers, know all the things, give them all the ways, the whiches, the whys, all that stuff, the hows. That's not your job. You are specifically discussing, where are you at? What do you want? What are you trying to do to get there? What's working, what's not? Why do you want this so bad? And extending an invitation to come solve the problem. That's it. That's what you're doing on a sales call. A consultation call is a sales call. So you are qualifying and identifying, yes, this is the person I can help. This is a person who belongs in my program. And this is the person who meets my requirements and is ready. This is not sure, ask me any question. I'll tell you all the answers. I'll give you all the hows, all the ways. Then those people are going to say, oh, let me go off and try all this. I'll get back to you. And you just set them up for failure, right? That's not your job on these calls. And I see this time and time again, coaching on consultation calls. That's not your job, right? And again, your job is not to get people to do anything. Your job is not to get them to buy in. Your job is not to get them ready. Your job is not to convince them they need to do it. Your job is not to negotiate your price. That's not your job. You're trying too hard. You're overselling, right? Okay, so no coaching on consultation calls. Until they're paying you, you're not coaching them. You don't owe them any of that, okay? Number 6, you oversell your program and you undersell the transformation. You're giving way too much and you're trying way too hard. Okay, you're going into coaching, you're focusing on things that you're going to give them, things you're going to help them do, the bonuses, the extras, the bells, the whistles. You're giving them all this stuff, trying to convince them, oh my God, I got to buy all this stuff. And you're confusing them. You're overwhelming them. They don't want all that stuff. They want a specific outcome. That is it. They don't care how you're going to do it. They don't care how many things you're going to give them. They don't care about your downloads. They don't care if your sessions are 30 minutes or 45 minutes. They don't care if you have a certification. They don't care how long you've been doing this. They don't care about your education. They don't care about you. No one cares about me. Nobody cares about you. They want the transformation. You either sell them that or they're not buying. That's it. That is the simplest way to do sales. You're so attached to them saying yes or no that you're giving and giving and giving, and you're overselling the wrong thing. You're literally stuffing your program with everything that you can think of that you think will get them to buy, right? And then at the end, all they want is a transformation. And they want you to say it to them so clearly, so simply, so concisely. I help you get A, B, C. I help you do X, Y, Z. I will help you with this. They don't care about all this other stuff that you're hyping up. And most of you spend so much time on that other stuff, you You never even get to the actual transformation. You think the transformation is your program. You think the transformation is the coaching session or the live session or your bonuses or the Voxer, or you think the transformation is your package, or you. And it's none of those. They don't care about any of that stuff. They do not care. If someone says to you, "Can I have the details of your program?" It's because they don't know what your transformation is. They're not even interested. They're literally asking you, "Oh, how many sessions? Is it 45? They're picking apart the program because you haven't told them the transformation. That's all they care about. So they're trying to figure it out. You're overselling your program, and then you're underselling transformation. Stop talking about your program. Stop talking about your education, and stop talking about you. You need to sell the outcome, the transformation. And you need to learn how to do that in a way in like 5 minutes, 2 minutes. People have very short mind frames here. You can't sit here and say, "Well, let me tell you about the transformation." And then 6 hours later, you're still talking about it, right? You need to get good at practicing talking about the outcome and transformation fast. Okay? And what this means, guys, when you're doing this, if you're like, "Oh God, I do that, I totally do that," you just have a weak sales skill set. It's not a bad thing. Most people actually are not very good sellers. You have a weak sales skill set. You don't understand sales psychology. You don't understand how sales works. You think selling is throwing your program out and putting about a bunch of content around it. When I ask people, "What do you think sales is?" Creating lots of content. That's what people talk, creating lots of content. Or they'll say, "Selling my program, having a program to sell, and creating a bunch of content around my program." That is not sales. That is not sales. You need to understand the brain, the mindset of someone who's going to buy from you. You need to understand the psychology. You need to know what sales is. Sales is not your program. Sales is not the content that you put out about your program. That's not sales, right? And this is why a lot of you guys are not getting people over the finish line. You just don't understand what sales is. You don't understand selling at its deep core level. You understand the surface. I need an offer. It's got to be a sexy price. I need a sweet little title. And I got to create a bunch of content and then just market it all over the internet. That is not sales, guys. That's not selling. That's not sales. Okay. All right. The last one, number 7. You're not bridging the buyer gap. I talk about this in every workshop I do. You're not bridging the buyer gap, right? You're not helping people understand that when I make an investment, when you buy something, okay? When you buy something, when you make an investment, it is a selfish act. What do I mean by that? It means that when I make an investment in someone or something, I'm doing it for my own personal agenda. I'm doing it for something that I want. I'm not making an investment to help that coach. I'm not buying the purse to help the store. I'm not buying groceries to help the market. I'm doing it for my own stuff because I'm hungry and I want food. It's my own personal selfish act. And so what you have to understand is that people are not investing in you. They're not investing in your program. They are investing in that transformation we just talked about. So what you have to do is get to the deep desire of why do they want this outcome? Why do they want this situation? Why do they want that? And then you have to understand that people are investing in themselves, right? So focus on selling that transformation and explain to people why. Here's the thing. Why you? Why your way over all the other ways? You can't just sell the transformation and not back it up with why. So when I tell people, here's what I can help you do, I also explain, and here's why I think it's the best way. Because you have to help your buyer connect the dots. There's a million ways out there. They need to know why your way. Why you? Why should I invest in your program or your methodology or your system or the way that you do it? Why you over Suzanne Evans, David Nagel, Tony Robbins? Why you? If you don't know how to tell people why your way is the best way, why you believe it's the best and why it's better than these other things that they're doing and why you believe in it so much, if you don't know how to talk about that, you're not getting their gap bridged. You aren't getting them over the finish line. They're going to say, let me think about it. Or I'm looking at a couple of people. Let me get back to you. That's what they're going to tell you. You will get an objection. You haven't bridged the gap on not only your transformation that you can help them experience, granted that they show up and do the work, but why your way? Why the way that you do it? Every single thing that I put out, guys, for content, every conversation we have and every single thing that I talk about, I'm always explaining why I believe my way is the best. I'm telling you right now, I am the best at sales. I am the best at what I do. Nobody on this planet does sales the way that I do it. And I believe that. So that I believe, because I believe that, I also believe that I can help you convert higher than anybody else could do it. I also believe that my system is the most authentic and it is literally the best sales system there is. I believe that. And I believe that the way that you guys are doing it and the way that other coaches are teaching you is setting you up for failure. It's setting you up for a disservice. It's disgusting, tacky sales tactics. It's sneaky, it's manipulative, it's aggressive sales. It's old traditional way of selling that doesn't work anymore. That's what I believe. So there you go. There's my why. I absolutely believe that the way that I do it is different than everybody else. And I absolutely think that anyone who comes into my programs and does the work is going to have bigger, better transformation and conversions than anything anybody else would teach you. There you go. I summed it up, right? Because I believe that. I can stand here and say that. I believe that, right? You have to be behind the thing. You can't just say, oh, guys, I got this cool program. And oh my God, I just created this course last week that I got inspired to do, and you should buy it. Like, no one's buying that. Why? Everybody has a course. Everybody said, I could find it all on Google. Why not do that? I can find everything you teach on Google. Why not do that? I can watch a YouTube video and learn that. Why? So you have to get good, guys, at talking about that. You have to bridge the buyer gap. When somebody is talking to you about working with you, they are thinking about, what about this other person? What about this other way that people are doing it? Or what about this way that I've been doing it? Can I just keep doing that? Or what about this way I saw on YouTube video the other day? Or, oh my God, there's this successful coach who's doing it this way. Why not that way? Why should I do your way? If you don't bridge that gap, you're not getting that sale. People buy from people. They buy from emotion, right? You have to be connecting with people. And the best way to do that is show them how much you believe in the work that you do and why you believe in it so much, okay, over anything else that they could do. If you can't do that, they're not going to do it. If you don't believe in your work, they're not going to believe in it. You can't sell the surface stuff, guys. You can't just say, I have an awesome course that I was so inspired to create, and I think it's fabulous, so I think you should buy it. You're not getting sales like that, right? So this isn't just about, sales is not about, oh, I got a program and it's super sexy and cool, really fun. It's the best one yet. It's the best course I've ever created. I hear that all the time with every course people create. It's the best one yet. Okay, but nobody cares. Why? Right? Why? Why should I care about it as much as you? And you have to remember, no one cares about the work that you do or your program the way that you do. You work nose and nose, right? We are nose to nose with our work. Our work is passionate and we are emotionally connected to it. Your buyers are not. Your buyers, we are selfish. We are only emotionally connected to what we want. If you don't know how to connect those dots, you're not getting the sale. All right, do we have questions? I'm going to pause because I'm done. This was really good. You guys will have to go back. I just want to see if there's any questions here in the chat. Let me just open this up and look. Yeah, sales and marketing is not the same thing, guys. Marketing and sales are two different things. Okay. Yeah, Sadie said, true, I already decided. Okay, we read that one to buy. Yeah, we cannot wait to work with you also, Sadie. Let me just see if there's questions. Okay, Sadie said, I have to pray about it or I have to talk to my husband. Yeah. Yeah, Sydney's got some roll eyes there with the husband objections. I used to have to deal with that too. But here's the thing, Sadie, too, and anyone else who's here thinking like, I've got to get like a husband or a wife or someone on board if I'm going to do it. Like I have to get them to give me the permission or to like give me the money or to help me. I'm going to tell you, like, my now husband did not believe in the work that I did for a good solid 7 years or so. It was many years where he was like, get a job, because he got so tired of giving me money. And I was making these investments, but I was doing all these different things, and I was all over the place, and I was trying a bunch of different stuff, and I wasn't making any money because I was all over the place, right? Here's the thing. If you are not fully committed to the commitment of building a successful long-term business, you're not going to get your significant other to believe in you. You got to go to them and approach them with, this is my dream. This is my passion. I am doing this with or without you. If you don't have that commitment, you can't get their commitment. If you go to them insecure or worried or doubtful or like, should I, don't know, should I do? They're going to just mimic that, right? We get what we put out. So I'm just telling you from experience with my husband, the way that I got him to support me is I had to just let him know, like, I was taking this seriously. I'm not playing games. It's not a hobby. I'm doing this with or without. Like, this is my dream. I'm going for this. And I would love for you to support me, right? If you can't approach them that way, you're not going to get them on board. They're just going to kind of go with whatever you're feeling. So if you approach them with like, I don't know, maybe kind of, sort of, what do you think? I mean, 9 out of 10, like my husband did not understand my business. So if I asked him what he thought, he's like, I think we should stop spending money on your business, right? He didn't understand it. So you can't really ask for advice from someone who doesn't understand what you're doing. The best thing that you can do is show them, I'm doing this no matter what, right? I'm committed. Because then if they love you, they want to support you. If it's something you're passionate about, they want to support you with that, right? Like if your significant other loves you and cares about you, and they see that you're passionate about something and you're going for a big dream, they naturally want to support you if you have confidence in it. But if you go to them and you're like, I don't know, what do you think? They're just going to follow that. They're going to probably say, I probably think we shouldn't do it. We don't have the money. They're going to give you an objection, right? Like, come on. So just a little side note there for those of you that have significant other objections. Okay. Holly is so very true. Sadie, yes, it does. Emotional buy-in. Yep. Sadie said, I've done that. You will find the money. Yes. There's money everywhere. We have to be resourceful, but it starts with your commitment. When you lock in a decision and you say, I am doing this. I don't know how. I don't know what it looks like, but I know I'm doing it. The universe aligns with that because it's a decision. It's a feeling. It's an emotional commitment. And when you do that, the universe aligns with you and shows you the way. And yeah, you might make mistakes along the way and you might take some wrong turns along the way, but you have to stay committed. That's the secret. You have to continue to say, I'm doing it no matter what. I'm doing this. I made a mistake, but I'm doing it. Going forward, I'll do it better. Right? You have to stay committed. If you're someone who's like, every time something doesn't go your way or it goes wrong or you're scared, if you're a person who like every time you feel fear, you lock up, you jam up and you forget it, you're probably not going to go far in your business because it takes a deep level of resilience and commitment because it doesn't go perfect and it doesn't go your way usually. And it's not overnight. It's a lot of hard work. You have to have resilience and that commitment, right? I'm 20 years in the making. I could have given up in year 1. When I was doing really, really bad, right? Okay, Sydney is laughing out loud. Yeah, we're not talking, chit-chatting, hanging out, no. Yeah, it's no. Let's set up a sales call structure that works. Yes, yep. Sadie said this is real talk. Sydney said it's actually gold and is no BS we need. Yeah, and mind you guys, the way that I am with sales is not how I've always been. I used to hate selling because I didn't understand it. This is 20 years of sales experience. That's what's got me here. So if you want to get better at sales, you want to get better at selling, you want to have a better relationship with money, you want to be really committed to a bigger dream, and you really want to get better at releasing attachment and learning how to love selling in a really authentic way, you got to practice. You got to go through the hardship. Right? I tell people all the time, I close so good. I'm such a good salesperson because I spent 5 years here and no, 5 years here and I don't have the money, 5 years here and you charge too much, whatever it was. I spent years and years and years getting objections. That's how I got so good at sales. You got to get through that. Get over it. You got to fail really fast. Just get through that stuff, right? You got to get through it. It's the only way. Let's see. Yep. Yes, guys, shoot us a DM if you're ready to do better at selling. Okay, let's see. Any other questions here? I'm just getting down to the bottom. I don't see any other questions. Sadie said so good. Awesome. Yep. Yeah. Okay. I love it. Yay. Good. I'm glad this was so helpful. There is money everywhere, guys. There is. It's hard to see it when you're in a situation, but if you can just hold on to the belief that it's possible, it's there, it's available. And here's the thing, you don't need to know how. You don't need the details, guys. That's the thing that I think gets us tripped up is we're like, okay, I think I can believe that it's possible for me. I can believe that that I'll get there. But then what you do is you trip yourself up by like, but how? How? You don't need to know how. You need to first just believe it and then get committed to, I'll figure it out. I don't know. I'll find a way. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to do it. Right? It's that commitment that creates the resources so that you can start seeing the ways, the hows. Okay. So we're doing a free workshop. You guys should totally come in. If you are not registered, it's called Authentic Social Selling. It's about this, like what we covered here, but so much more too. We'll talk a little bit of strategy and a lot of sales stuff and a lot of processes and systems and the things that are going to help you make more money, get better at selling and converting, right? We're going to talk audience growth. We're going to talk qualification, qualifying people, high quality leads, the sales process, all of the things. We're going to be talking about all of that stuff as it pertains to social media in the way that it is today. These are not traditional things that I teach. These are things that work today. Okay. If you're not registered, we can drop the link below. Okay. Awesome. Sadie's registered. You can drop the link below. We'll put it above after also. Get registered. It's free. We kick off next Monday. And this Friday, we have a kickoff session. We're going to hop on Zoom. We're going to connect. You're going to meet me. You're going to meet Sydney, which is your concierge, our community manager. You're going to get into conversation with us. We're going to get you a workbook. We're going to get you all ready. We're going to get the schedule plugged in. And we're going to spend an amazing 5 days together, guys, helping you get better at selling. I don't care what stage of business you're at. If you want to convert higher, better, and easier, much faster, this is for you, right? Okay, so the link, Sydney dropped the link in the comments, guys. Go ahead and click that if you have not registered, or just DM Sydney and she'll get you registered. If anyone is here and you want to fast track, you're not interested in a free thing, you just really want to get down to, I want to make more money, I want to attract higher quality clients, I want to get better at selling, and I know that I need support for that, send Sydney a direct message. We have a program that is all about this, and we walk you Monday through Friday, right through the steps to support you and coach you and guide you in becoming an authentic social seller, someone who actually can convert super high ticket very easily, very consistently. So if anyone is kind of looking like, I don't want another free workshop kind of thing, I'm just ready to get down to business, comment below and ask Sydney to DM you, or just send Sydney a DM. She will talk to you about our program, what that looks like, how that would look, what that would be for you specifically, and we'll just get right down to business, right? Okay, very cool. Very, very cool. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging with me here. Some of you might want to go back and listen to this replay. You do not want to miss those 7 things, those biggest mistakes, guys, with your sales. If you even change one of those things, so you don't need to change everything. If you even just change one of those things that we talked about today, you will see an increase in your conversions, even just by one of those things. And maybe some of you are listening to those and you're like, I don't have all of them, but I have some. If you just start by changing one of them at a time, you're going to see an increase in your conversions. I promise. Okay. So make sure you're doing that. If you guys have questions, let us know. If anyone wants to chat with Sydney about working with us, definitely get in a DM with Sydney. If you're not registered for the free workshop kicking off next Monday, guys, get registered. No joke. No game, no BS. I'm going to teach you guys how to really learn how to sell. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye, guys.